significant memories from the LDT program that stick with you? Like,
oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I also have a background in research, and so and that was kind of like my earlier career goal, was to actually pursue that further and, you know, go get a PhD and everything, so that I could work in academia and just do research all the time. But aside from teaching, but that whole thing, for a variety of reasons, didn't really pan out. So I still wanted to have the research, like, just take advantage of that experience and everything I learned there. It's hard with one master's degree and not a PhD, to go get a research job somewhere. But the fact that LDT gave me research opportunities as well was really exciting to me. So I was able to use that and then actually put it towards something that wasn't completely in left field to where my future was going. So I did a couple of research projects, and I have a couple of publications now. And
that's amazing.
Yeah. The first one was presented. It was the research methods course that we took. And that was my team, just like, we came out with really good results. And so we presented that in Australia, and I presented another paper in Morocco. So those opportunities were really priceless. I mean, it wasn't like the program sent us there or anything. We still had to, you know, get there on our own and stay there and all that stuff. But
awesome.
I mean, there are opportunities even more so than it appears. But even just the opportunity to work with actual, I don't want to say businesses, because they're not always businesses, but like clients, you know, in different industries, where if you tried to do that professionally to build a portfolio or something, it would take forever, because you'd have to have a different job in all these different industries, right? But with LDT, I got around to a lot of different places, and that was exciting, you know?
Yeah.
So in my job interview, actually, for working at Cabby, I remember I was, you know, just being interviewed by my supervisor, but then we had someone else, like one of our executive team, came in to the interview and just kind of randomly popped in and said, okay, but do you know business? No, but do you know business? And I thought, oh my gosh, I have no background in business. And then I remembered, wait a second, I worked with a business development firm, and I helped them find the LMS that they wanted to look for. So that's what the project was. And I thought, okay, no, I've never been paid to work in business, but I have this opportunity. Let me tell you about it. And so that, I think, really sealed the deal there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I love what you shared. Like, yeah, you wouldn't be able to know or have or experience different industries in a lifetime, then this is a great opportunity. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so I've made a lot of my close friends with this degree, closer than my undergrad experience. We still keep in touch, and they've also given me opportunities, like a hookup to, you know, if I needed a job, or they would recommend, like, hey, we have an opening, would you like to apply? Like, so I made those really strong connections. So highly recommend, and it might be difficult now because we're in the middle of a pandemic, but earlier I don't know if you still do this, but we used to meet up like at Old Town. Yeah, I don't know if you guys do that. I'm not sure if this program does that, but for the master's program, we were able to meet up with the other students. That was really cool. We made those connections. Yeah, I really like that. One thing that really stuck out to me, and it totally makes me cringe, there was this, so remember those project-based learning, those projects where we would work with the client?
Yeah.
So we would do Zoom, right? So we would Zoom in with our client. And one time we were talking to one of the clients, it was just a normal meeting. So it was her, and then in the background you see the kitchen. So suddenly you see this like little figure crawling from one side out into the middle of the kitchen. And I was like, oh, who's this little man in the background? Because, you know, I'm being like outgoing and whatever. She turns around and she's like, oh, that's my husband. And then all my group members were like, you're out, you're fired, just get out. So if you ever see anything weird happening, and they don't teach you this, and I don't think they didn't teach us, if you see anything weird happening, unless the place is on fire or they're in danger, if there's anything weird happening in the background, just let it happen. smile. It was so awkward. But yeah, otherwise it was really good experiences.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I had a lot of great opportunities when I worked at LDT. I mean, the most important one was really actually at the end of the program. In my last year, I was able to, because of the strong community in Southern California and in San Diego, I was able to get an internship with Qualcomm, which I eventually worked at immediately following my graduation. And Qualcomm, because they had a number of ed tech and LDT alumni there, they really valued instructional design, and they really had a whole department that was dedicated to producing online instructional materials. So all the stuff that I was learning in the multimedia design classes, that really easily transferred into the work over there. And also a lot of the stuff, I mean, things that I thought were really, really important were some of our intro to instructional design courses involved some overviews of things like cognitive science that wound up being, I think, the foundational dimensions of instructional design that are important today. Things like cognitive load theory, those are like really important grounding and formative things that I learned that I'm continuing to use many years later, and that we're only finding now are actually even more important than we thought. So that was really huge for me, both in terms of what I learned and what I was able to do in the program.